Okay. So, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining this webinar. This is our very first one. My name is Judy Lee, and I'm here with Chris. He is the engagement manager at UiPath, and we are also here with Catalina. She's another community manager. And we have Florent here. He is an MVP. I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of videos that we uploaded on our channel about Florent. So first, we are going to start with a short presentation on what community team does, what the UiPath community team does, and some of the platforms that we provide. So here, I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Sorry. So can everyone see this? I'm trying to make it into presentation mode. Okay, there you go. Can you see this, Chris?
Yep, all good.
Okay. So welcome to UiPath community, yay. This is our vision. Our vision is to become the preferred language of RPA developers worldwide by having the largest, most productive community, and that's you guys. And we want to have a pool of automation components and everything will be free of charge, of course. And this is the user-centric community ecosystem that we've created and that we're still working on. Chris can take over and explain this.
Yeah, thanks, Judy. So we're focused on a user-centric community. So this is our ecosystem in general. So we have UiPath Academy, which is more focused on learning, so educational courses around UiPath software, business analyst teachings, and a lot more. So if you want to get started and take some education courses, UiPath Academy is the place to start. Next, we have our forum. So our forum is our question and answer platform, basically. So if any users have questions about how to do something with UiPath software, this is the place to ask it. We have tons of experts here who are always happy to answer questions, whether it's for new users or more advanced questions. A lot of our MVPs are actually super active on the forums, answering tons of people's questions. It's a really great resource. If you ever just want to go in and just start browsing and learn a little bit, or if you want to go in and start answering people's questions or ask your own. We also have, were you going to say something, Judy?
I will go next, and I think we are going to talk about each in details.
Right. But after forum, we also have Go, which is our component marketplace. So if you ever want to download reusable components that others have created, UiPath Go is the place to start. We're also looking at introducing new features on the community platforms, but our newest one is UiPath Connect. So this is essentially for the user. So this is kind of like the central spot to start is UiPath Connect. Here you can create a user profile. Any achievements that you achieve through gamification on Academy or forum will be tracked here. You can follow other companies, other users, and kind of create projects and interact with other users. And I recommend starting at Connect because when you're on the site, it also has links to Academy, to forum, to Go. So it's kind of a great place to get started. And this is kind of our values, not just for the communities, but for UiPath in general. You know, be bold, be fast, be humble. We don't know everything. I don't know everything. So for instance, you won't see me answering questions on the forums because I can't understand what people are saying half the time because I don't know the product. I'm not a product expert like a lot of our MVPs are. But, you know, if there's a question about how to do something on Connect, for instance, I will be more than happy to answer those questions. So I don't know everything. Be humble. Also have fun. You know, you don't have to be serious all the time, but if somebody has a serious question, help out. But if you want to engage with other users in other ways and just talk about other things going on, you know, have fun, be collaborative, be immersed. You know, not just on our communities, but, you know, this is UiPath in general, and this is how we kind of always operate. So now it's just some kind of a little bit more detail on each of the community spaces I introduced. So UiPath Academy, you can kind of see a little interactive GIF here, image of what it looks like. So there's technical trainings, non-technical. We currently have 230,000 individuals who have joined the Academy and are learning in over 191 countries. And all these courses are open to you for free if you just want to start learning. Again, this is our forum, so you can kind of see what our forum looks like. We have different categories, tags, if you want to explore more advanced questions, if you just want to see announcements from UiPath. We have 30K members, and a lot of them are actually active. So they're constantly on the forums or looking for new posts or asking their questions. There's been over 230,000 posts on the forum, so it's extremely active. There's always something going on, and there's always somebody either from UiPath or outside using UiPath software who's always willing to help and answer questions. And then there's Go. So like I said before, this is kind of our marketplace. So individuals, companies can download reusable automation components made by other users or companies, and you can kind of download them straight into your UiPath software and start interacting with them. People who post these, they look forward to you leaving reviews for the components you download. If you have any questions, you can go right to the Go marketplace where you download it and ask the creator a question, and they're always happy to answer.
We actually have some webinars coming up that's just for the Go marketplace, so stay tuned.
And yes, and then so the newest one we just introduced this year, actually in January, this is UiPath Connect. So this is we call it our people-centric platform. You know, what does that mean? This is about users. Users have rich profiles. You can learn about each other. You can put an About Me section, links to your social media, any portfolios, websites you may have, work you've done. And other users can click on your profile, explore, they can follow you. And there's also profiles for companies. So if you want to put your company on Connect, you can post it and you can have information about your company, links to all your projects, components, and actually when users join Connect, they can enroll and say they work for your company and they'll appear on the same page. So we introduced this in, let's say, late January. We have 11K users. We will have 40 plus projects. Catalina, who's with us, handles a lot with projects. She's more of an expert on that than I am, but there's always new projects coming in. And like I said before, Connect's a great place to start if you want links to all of our other community platforms like Go, Forum, and Academy.
All right, thank you, Chris. So now I'm going to talk about our community programs. So these are more of the on-site events where you can be engaged face-to-face. So we have 4 different program types, four programs that we are currently running. Hackathons, RPA League, local communities, and the MVP program. So first, the hackathons. It is one of the main pillars supporting the UiPath community. And through hackathon, you can show off your skills and also publish your reusable components on Go Marketplace and also on your Connect page profile, and discover others that can help you innovate and push the automation first movement. There are 4 types of hackathons. First one, there is a global virtual hackathons, so you can be anywhere and still participate. It usually takes 1 to 3 months, and the announcement will be posted on the community forum. And this is where the UiPath RPA developers build open source reusable components using our program, our studio. that automate repetitive tasks in the workplace. And then there's an on-site hackathon. We had a big one in India last year in Bangalore. So in-person hackathons are practice-focused marathons, and it's between 8 to 48 hours. People don't sleep. They literally code for all 48 hours. Well, some of them. And participants, they work in small teams to bring to life the next generation of software robots by building reusable automation components with UiPath. And we usually, there are winners, and we announce the winners at our events like UiPath Together, UiPath Forward events. Not all the time, but most of the time. And then we have sponsored hackathons, and we have non-core hackathons. So for the sponsored hackathons, we work with, we're sponsoring other teams, other companies that are hosting them. And number 4, non-core hackathons, it's usually when our partners or our companies want to host internal hackathons and they just need some consultancy from us, and that's when we're helping them out. Then we have RPA League. So this is a program dedicated to students and young professionals who are interested in pursuing an RPA developer career. So this is a timeline. I will go over it really fast. First, we start with an online campaign. We try to raise the RPA awareness among students and young professionals. And then we encourage them to start with Academy. They start on the 2-month learning journey using our Academy. And then we have a kickoff event where we introduce the students to the RPA world and also introduce our partners who will be hiring those students who go through RPA League at the end. Not all of them are guaranteed to get a position, internship position or a full-time position by our partners, but there will be an opportunity. And then we also host workshops like Automate and Connect, where it's an on-site event where participants have the chance to solve some briefs that our partners provide and automate some fun processes in person, and also webinars as well. And at the end, we end with a hackathon where everyone can show off their skills, and with a job fair where hosted by our partners. Then we have meetups. So I'm sure if you use the community forum, there was a post about all our meetups, regional meetups, and the links to it. I will have this link in the description box when this is uploaded on our YouTube channel. But so the meetups are an environment where RPA developers get to meet each other, they get to communicate and learn together, and also build projects together. We have 3 types of meetups. Number 1 is a technical. So this is where the participants work on projects and components together. And we have a networking one where it's just networking, whether it's for talent recruiting or you just want to meet other RPA developers and learn about their experience and their journey. This is the one that you would be interested in. And then we have a non-technical one. The main purpose of this is to raise awareness about RPA, and these types of meetings are not in our primary scope, and we only organize them if the community requests. So on the forum, feel free to, or on the external Slack, feel free to upload any questions you have, like, oh, I live in this region and I want to have like a meetup here. Like, can you guys provide any resources? And we would love to work with you. So on a meetup, you can connect, grow, and create together. And lastly, we have the MVP program. The MVP program is a dedicated series of experiences designed to celebrate the individuals that contribute to the UiPath community. And we recognize those users that contribute to other members' development and shape the automation first movement. I'm sure you guys are familiar with a lot of them, I would say. There's Akshay, Dilip, and Florent, who are already on our YouTube channel, and we will be featuring more of them very soon, so stay tuned. So who is that UiPath MVP? Our MVP is a passionate person who is a UiPath ambassador, and the MVPs are community-centered, and this is a recognition of their ongoing involvement and contributions to the UiPath community. And what defines a UiPath MVP? A UiPath MVP is an RPA professional who is not a UiPath employee. It's a very organic relationship we have with them. We're not paying them to be our brand ambassador or anything like that. UiPath MVP is an expert in using UiPath suite or specific subject areas. They're highly engaged in our UiPath community. I'm sure you guys seen their posts on the forum a lot and our Slack channels as well. They are innovators by providing new solutions which may become new product features. And they're also, they have also proven to constantly display and be the guardian of the UiPath community values. So here we have Florent with us today. He is our MVP. And if you guys have any questions to ask, please feel free to do so. Let's see. I stopped sharing the screen. Okay. Let me see. I know we got some questions for Florent in the previous post that I uploaded about the interview. A lot of people were interested in becoming an MVP and asked how to do it. So Florent, can you briefly talk about how you became an MVP or how you think you became an MVP?
Hi, everyone. Yeah, sure. I think the previous slide that you presented explained it very well. From my side, it was actually quite surprised to be an MVP at first, right? Because there was not all this explanation about the program and so on. So how I started with UiPath, I discovered the tool and I started posting on forums. So about 2 years ago, and coming on the forum more and more every day, and just enjoying doing it, right? Of course, I learned UiPath and I posted on the forum because I was an RPA consultant back then and still now. And I've just done what I liked. So spending my time to answer questions on the forum, and this is how it happened to me, yeah, to become MVP. So I would say just contribute on the UiPath community. Back then, there were not as much possibility to contribute as you have now with Connect, with Go, and all other platform around. So I would just say contribute. Don't overdo it. I would say even don't try to be an MVP. Just like have fun being part of the community, right?
Yeah. What was the, I know you are invited to a lot of UiPath events to speak, and we really appreciate you for doing that. What was your favorite event?
Favorite event was so far. My favorite event was the one in Bangalore for sure, the UiPath Developer Conference, because that's where I met most of the RPA people that I like, I would say, because RPA is like a mix between, let's say, sales, consulting, development, technical people, and non-technical people. I'm not saying here that some people are less important than other or anything like that, right? I want to be clear about that. It's just that it's a lot of fun to see so many technical people around the same place and at the same time. So that was definitely Bangalore was my favorite event, right? I also like speaking with executive directors. Those are great people as well. But my favorite one was definitely the Dev Conference.
So I heard that you are going to be one of the judges at the Paris Hackathon that's coming up. Have you been? Have you been a? Yeah, sorry.
Interesting, because I heard I was gonna be a mentor.
Oh, mentor.
I didn't know
okay.
I would be judging. I don't know.
Sorry,
Yes,
maybe both. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, I should be in Paris beginning of next month to to be around the hackathon, which will take place a couple of I think a week before the event. So
Okay.
yes, yeah. And that will be a lot of fun as well. Actually, I'm a bit frustrated. I cannot participate as an hackathon participant, but it will be fine. I mean, it will also be good because I like a lot coding and participating on those kind of events, as I guess many of you.
Okay. And I know you've won hackathon before, right? With Sci-Form, right? I think that's what it's called. Can you kind of talk about that platform? I mean, that component and your experience of that hackathon? Did you sleep? Do people sleep? I heard they don't.
That was actually during the virtual hackathon. And it was not on site, right? So that was not the marathon, but I actually spent a lot of time on this one, mostly because I really like the idea of this was very something new back then. So what this component was aiming to do first, because when you have done it or when you have done part of it, it's easy to say. But before, my idea was to create something which would make the RPA more interactive, right? To do not have too much how can I say that? Because RPA, we often see it running in, you have the robot and you have the human, and you don't have many communication between both those two entities, right? And I really try to link both of them by making a form designer to have a user interface for the robots. Because if you look at it, not on the enterprise grade, there is a real interaction with the bot and the human, right? It's and that's there is a lot of potential about that. Luckily, this idea pleased quite much the judges, because this is one of the way that UiPath wanted to go with the automation first mindset. So I'm very glad. And I didn't sleep that much, but in home, so I spent quite much time doing that.
Yeah, that's good. So Brian asked a question. Do you think we need to understand C++ or other coding language, or is learning RPA enough to maybe land a role?
Well, okay, UiPath, and especially UiPath, but is quite connected with programming, and more specifically C# or .NET, right? So if you understand .NET, you will have a big advantage on understanding the concept there. So C++ will not be so useful. It will be useful because you will have already a programming mindset, and this is quite important to develop professionally robust solution to understand all of those concepts, but this is not a pure requirement.
Okay.
But having knowledge on .NET will be an advantage, but not a requirement, right? To be clear, right? There are many people doing programming, sorry, not coming from programming at all and doing RPA. And last thing, RPA is not only about coding as well, because there are a lot of jobs opportunities around RPA, on coordinating projects, on being a business analyst, and so many other things. So developer are one part of the RPA, but not only, right? You can work in RPA being a non-technical person. Of course, you need to have awareness about its capabilities and what is it good for, but programming is not required.
Okay, thank you. Let's see. Do we have any other questions? Feel free to ask something. Brian says, I ask because I'm taking the courses, but it seems very easy to understand, and I have no background in coding or programming.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good. Let's see. And Lahir said, I recently completed the UiPath certification. Yay! It was actually a request done by our company because I got the certification. The company I work for was able to get a partnership with you guys. That's amazing. sorry, back to Brian, and he said, so I'm hesitant to think that it is all I need in order to maybe land a role in an RPA position. Do you think, Florent, do you think it depends on the region that you're staying in as well? Like if there are a lot of developers there, then maybe then the competition is very high in getting employed, then maybe they check your like degree as well, like if you studied in engineering.
Definitely. I mean, this is relevant, right? Let's say like there is a much bigger pool of RPA developer, for example, in India than there is in Europe, where I am, or in US, right? So this is relevant. I would not call it competition, but yeah, this is different. Like
by regions,
work market, yeah. So
right. Okay.
I mean, I'm not saying that you will do like few courses on the academy and someone will give you a job. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that if you are passionate about this, if you are interested, if you are not so confident, not so proficient with programming, you can do only the basic courses, let's say the basic courses on the academy, and focus on non-technical courses, the one for business analysts, for example. And focus on learning Lean, Six Sigma, and those kind of things, and then you can become a business analyst working in RPA, right? So of course, it's not easy, especially now, and I think it will become harder and harder to because there is a lot of hype around RPA and UiPath and a lot of demand, but it's accessible. It's much more accessible than becoming a software engineer in any company, right? If you would have to make web applications, I'm seeing it much more accessible.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Diana asks, Florent, hi, what projects are you working on for the future on Connect, if any?
What project are you working on? I'm currently working on a project that I published actually regarding Skype for Business. I'm building a connector to do basic things, but using the link API. So it's like, let's say, Skype for Business API made by Microsoft to create activity a bit like Excel, Excel activities from UiPath with a Skype for Business scope, send message, and some other things. But it's going good. Lately, I didn't have much time to focus on that, but I'll come back to it, and I'm hoping releasing something, let's say, a couple of weeks after Paris. So 2-3 weeks after Paris.
Is it on your Connect website?
Yes, it's on my profile. It's
okay.
Skype,
I mean, sorry, that Connect profile. Yeah, that's good. So we can track you. So if you are curious, Diana, you can follow Florent on his Connect profile and check the status of his project. Brian asks, is there something to follow up the academy to higher my chances? So after academy, like what else do you think you can do? Just like hackathons, like participate in hackathons? Because I remember, Florent, when we had an interview in Bangalore, you told me, like, you just have to get addicted to it, and you just, have to explore around.
I think there is not only one path to success. So like the path I took and the path that our peers MVP I saw Clayton there, like that we took, is that being like extremely involved on the community forum, and that's where you will learn a lot of things, right? Trying to answer question, reading, because I'm not posting too much. If you look at it, much less than my peers MVP, but I'm reading a lot of posts. I'm trying to just to understand, to see, like, to keep being updated, and the forum is a very good place for that. So once let's say you are done with the academy, and if you want to have a technical role, you will practice, you will stay up to date, because UiPath is releasing a lot, is making a lot of releases, and being kept up to date, the forum is a very good place. So I would recommend to stick with the forum, to read posts, to stay interested, trying maybe to solve things on your own, right? Maybe you will be too slow and someone will pause before you finish to solve the problem, but it's a good thing to at least try. I think there are like problems for all levels, from simple to complicated problem on the forum, and solving them is a good practice. I think it's the best kind of training for me, but maybe not for you, right? If it answered the question.
Yeah. Thank you. Sorry for asking you so many questions, but you're the MVP. But maybe Chris can answer this one. Well, the question is that, do you have any personal bot which performs your daily activities? But I know you don't have one yet, or you haven't built one, but what do you want your first bot to be that will help you with your daily activity?
Are you asking?
Oh,
are
yes,
you asking
I'm
me?
asking you.
A bot that'll help me? Oh, I don't know. That's a tricky question. I mean, like in daily life, like make me breakfast or something like that would be great.
We're not there yet, but okay.
You know, play with my dogs a little more. A bot that would be great for me, I guess, is one that would help me around with Connect. I don't know exactly what it would be yet. Maybe something around analytics and collecting for me. I'm kind of browsing around on Connect right now looking for inspiration. So maybe something will pop into my head eventually that another user will inspire.
Stay tuned. Maybe very soon I'll upload a video like Chris's first bot that helped him win or do something, whatever.
Chris's first bot that broke.
That never happened. That never worked. But wow, we are getting a lot of comments. Thank you, everyone. Oh, Sidharth said, personally, the fact that I knew a bit of OPS, sorry, am I pronouncing it right? Or is it oops? Coding helped me a lot when I was learning RPA 2 years back. And since then, I've seen people who hadn't had much coding experience struggle with even the basics of UiPath. Thank you for sharing that. And then Remus said, hello, everyone. What activities would you like to automate in your daily life? Oh, Chris kind of answered it. For me, the first one that I automated that you guys are aware of is the random generating random numbers to choose the winners for the YouTube launch giveaway. And that was really helpful because I really didn't want to choose my own, but I relied on the first bot. So you guys can't really hate on me if you weren't one of the winners. Blame the bot. And let's see. Can I finish using this here, guys? Lahir said that Lahir will update on the Connect profile. That project can help many people in here in Sri Lanka because they use many online advertisement sites to buy and sell various stuff. Wow. What is the most funny project that you worked on, Florent?
I mean, funny, like in which sense? Actually, I cannot, because I cannot say any name of client or anything, but
or a funny project that you want to work on that you kind of like thought of and like, oh, maybe I can automate that and that would be fun. Will you share that on your project if you think of one? In your project profile?
I'm trying to think of one. I mean, something I really would like to experience, like attended automation at scale, right? So I actually already did something like that, but without UiPath.
Oh, okay.
So having a full floor of people and like increasing their efficiency by 100% or something like that, like make a huge difference like that. It's not very fun, but
that is fun.
And actually, like, developed on the way I was doing before I was working with UiPath. It has nothing to do with UiPath. It's more about the company and how the projects are made. But having a subject matter expert, which is the person knowing about the business process, and developer, like a relation like I had before, meaning that I had to develop on the user desk, basically on the user desk with his computer for like security reasons for data, and that was very fun actually to take the job of like see the job of someone like done very tediously and make it assisted easier just by a robot, right? And that was actually very fun, and I really would like to do this again, to do not like develop remotely on a server, but more like something attended with a person and just like implementing their idea, my ideas on the same time, and make something great for a team, for example.
Okay, that sounds good. Now people are talking about automating for Tinder auto swipe, a dating app. Okay, so
with an Android emulator, maybe we can do something.
yeah.
And maybe with a good algorithm for the face recognition. Or...
Oh yeah, combine that all together. Okay, so do you guys have any other questions? Okay, any questions on platforms or the platforms that Chris introduced? How to use Go Marketplace? Well, like I said, stay tuned because we are gonna come up with more webinars that's focused on just connect, just go. So yeah, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and also we will post them on Slack and forum as well. Anything else? We good? Chris, do you have anything else to share?
Make sure you send me that random number generator bot, because last time I had to pick a winner for a contest. I printed out each of their names and I put it on a dartboard and I threw it, and whoever it hit, that was the winner. So make sure you send that over.
Guys, seriously?
Yes, that's how I picked the winner last time. So your process sounds easier.
Brian said, Chris, any relation with the other Stallone?
We're going to save that for another webcast.
Oh, stay tuned if you want to know. And Lahir said, oh, I have one. The certification is free until 31st March. Oh, thank you for subscribing. But how much will it cost after March 31st? Catalina, do you have any, do you have an answer for that? So currently the certification is free until 31st of March, but how much will it cost after March 31st? You're muted, Catalina. She's still muted. We don't. Oh,
hey guys. So until now, the certification was free, and after the 31st of March, we don't have a specific price we don't have a specific price, but it will be around.
And she got muted, the most important part.
Yes.
And it'll be around. Hold on, I'm sure she's checking.
New information.
Okay.
Probably it will be free until the end of the year. And we will come back with that information for you.
Okay, that's nice to know. So I'm gonna write it will be free.
Yeah, so probably it will be free until the end of the year.
That's amazing. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I think that's it. So this recording version of it will be uploaded on our YouTube. I'm going to cut them into different topics so that you guys can choose whichever one you want to watch. Well, I think this is it. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Florent. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Catalina, for the webinar. And like I said, we have more coming up, so stay tuned. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you for joining. Bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone.